Welcome, dear friend, to this message of unwavering hope and divine restoration. Today, we embark on a journey to explore the profound promise of God's complete restoration of all your perceived wasted years. This is not a mere platitude, but a deeply transformative truth with the power to revolutionize your perspective on life's challenges and setbacks. It's a beacon illuminating your path, a promise specifically tailored for those who feel they've lost precious time or squandered valuable opportunities. In a world often perceived as unforgiving and relentlessly forward-moving, the concept of divine restoration stands as a testament to God's infinite love and boundless mercy. It speaks directly to the heart of every individual who has ever felt the sting of regret, the weight of missed chances, or the pain of time slipping through their fingers. This message is for you, the dreamer whose dreams were deferred, the aspirant whose aspirations were thwarted, the believer whose faith was tested, the weary soul carrying the burden of past mistakes, and anyone who feels lost or forgotten. It's a powerful reminder that in God's economy, no experience is truly wasted, no tear goes unnoticed, and no sincere effort is forgotten. As we delve deeper into this promise, prepare your heart to receive a fresh infusion of hope, for the God who holds time in his hands is ready to orchestrate wonders in your life, exceeding your wildest expectations. Life's intricate tapestry often presents seasons that appear fruitless or wasted. These periods may be marked by setbacks, failures, or circumstances beyond our control that seemingly derail our plans and dreams. They might manifest as years spent in a career that didn't align with our passion, relationships that faltered, opportunities missed due to fear or unpreparedness, or periods of illness, grief, or isolation that left us feeling depleted and lost. In such moments, it's easy to feel irretrievably behind, watching others seemingly race ahead on their paths to success and fulfillment. The weight of these perceived failures can be immense, leading to self-doubt, regret, and a sense of hopelessness. However, the Lord, in his infinite wisdom and boundless love, assures us that he is the God of restoration. This isn't merely a title, it's a fundamental aspect of his character and his interaction with humanity throughout history and in countless personal testimonies. Scripture and countless lived experiences provide overwhelming evidence of God's ability to not only recover what was lost but to transform our losses into gains and our sorrows into profound joy. This promise of restoration is not a simple return to a previous state, but an elevation to something far greater than we could have imagined. It's about God taking the broken pieces of our lives, the wasted years, the missed opportunities, the shattered dreams, the painful memories, the regrets, the disappointments, and crafting them into a masterpiece that showcases his glory and our renewed purpose. In his hands, our setbacks become setups for comebacks of divine proportion, and our seasons of waiting become periods of preparation for blessings beyond our wildest dreams. He doesn't simply repair the cracks, he transforms the very essence of our being, creating something more beautiful, more resilient, and more aligned with his divine plan. When we speak of God's restoration, it's crucial to understand that this process transcends our human concept of simply replacing or repairing what was lost. Divine restoration is a comprehensive, transformative work that touches every aspect of our being, our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. It's about bringing wholeness to areas of our lives that we didn't even realize were fragmented, mending the unseen wounds and addressing the underlying causes of our pain and suffering. It's about repairing what's broken in ways that make us stronger at the mended places, resilient in the face of future challenges. Most importantly, it's about returning us to a state of completeness that often surpasses our original condition. This miraculous work of restoration isn't a distant promise or a future event, it's an ongoing process happening in your life right now, even if you can't see or feel it yet. Like a master artist meticulously restoring a priceless painting, God works with perfect care and precise timing. He doesn't merely patch up the visible damages, he addresses the underlying issues, reinforces the foundation, and brings out colors and details that were previously hidden or dulled. In your career, this might mean not just finding a new job, but discovering your true calling, your unique gifts and talents, and your place in God's grand design. In relationships, it could manifest as not only reconciliation but a deeper, more authentic connection than ever before, built on trust, forgiveness, and mutual respect. Spiritually, it often involves not just a return to faith, but a profound, intimate walk with God that transforms every aspect of your life, leading to a deeper understanding of His love, grace, and unwavering presence. This process of divine restoration is ongoing, thorough, and tailored specifically to you, designed to bring you into perfect alignment with God's plan for your life, a plan of peace and prosperity, a plan to give you a future and a hope. Let's delve into some powerful scriptures that reinforce this unwavering promise of divine restoration. These verses are not mere words on a page, but living, breathing declarations of God's intent and ability to restore what has been lost or broken in our lives. They serve as anchors for our faith, reminding us of God's faithfulness even when our circumstances seem to contradict His promises. These are not just ancient words, they are living, breathing testimonies of God's power to restore and renew. Joel 2 verse 25, I will repay you for the years the locusts have eaten. This verse speaks directly to the concept of lost time and opportunities. The locusts symbolize devastation and destruction, representing the setbacks and challenges that can leave us feeling robbed of our potential. God's promise to repay us is not merely about compensation for lost time, but about bringing a harvest so abundant that it more than makes up for the years of lack. This could manifest as accelerated growth, unexpected opportunities, or blessings that come in such rapid succession that they eclipse the memory of barren seasons. Psalm 71 verses 20-21, Though you have made me see troubles, many and bitter, you will restore my life again, from the depths of the earth you will again bring me up. This passage acknowledges the reality of our struggles while pointing to God's restorative power. It reminds us that no matter how deep our pit of despair, God's arm is long enough to reach us and strong enough to lift us out. This restoration is not just about survival, but about thriving, about emerging from our trials not just intact, but elevated, with a testimony that will inspire others and glorify God. This is a promise of complete renewal and elevation, not just a return to a previous state. Isaiah 40 verse 31, But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles, they will run and not grow weary, they will walk and not be faint. This verse speaks to the rejuvenating nature of God's restoration. It's not just about getting back on our feet, but about receiving supernatural strength and endurance, the kind of strength that only God can provide. The image of soaring like an eagle paints a picture of rising above our circumstances, gaining a new perspective, and moving forward with grace, power, and unwavering confidence. Lamentations 3 verses 22-23, Because of the Lord's great love we are not consumed, for His compassions never fail. They are new every morning, great is your faithfulness. This passage reminds us that God's compassion and faithfulness are constant, even in the midst of our darkest moments. His love is a steadfast anchor, a source of strength and hope in the face of overwhelming challenges. His compassion is a constant reassurance that He will not abandon us, but will be with us every step of the way. As we continue our exploration of divine restoration, it becomes essential to embrace the understanding that this process is a journey unfolding in God's perfect timing and wisdom. While we may desire instant results or quick resolutions to our problems, the path of restoration is not always instantaneous or linear. However, it is always purposeful and transformative, filled with God's grace and guidance. Understanding this process can help us cooperate with God's work in our lives and maintain hope, even when progress seems slow or imperceptible. One of the most beautiful aspects of God's restorative work is His remarkable ability to transform our trials into treasures. What we perceive as wasted years are being alchemized by God into invaluable assets for our future. Those seasons of struggle and hardship that weigh heavily on our hearts become lessons for growth, equipping us with wisdom, resilience, and empathy that we could not have gained in any other way. They are counterintuitive resources, deep resources of strength and understanding coupled with compassion that enable us to help others in their own difficulties. The challenges we face and overcome become powerful testimonies of God's faithfulness, encouraging and strengthening others who may be walking through similar valleys. Even our failures and mistakes are not wasted in God's economy, they become the foundation for future blessings as we learn, grow, and develop godly character through these experiences. In God's hands, every part of your story is being woven into a grand narrative that points towards His unwavering goodness and mercy. As we navigate our individual journeys toward restoration, it is crucial to remember that in God's hands, nothing is ever truly wasted. He uses every experience, even the painful ones, to shape us and prepare us for His divine purpose. For instance, the years you may have spent in a dead-end job might have been developing your patience, work ethic, and specific skills you'll need for your true calling. That relationship that didn't work out. It could have imparted valuable lessons about love, self-worth, and boundaries that will be essential for your future relationships. Even periods of spiritual dryness and doubt can ultimately deepen our faith, creating a more relatable connection with others facing similar struggles. This transformative process often involves a shift from mourning to joy, a divine exchange orchestrated by God Himself. Psalm 30 verse 11 beautifully captures this transformation. You have turned for me my mourning into dancing, you have put off my sackcloth and clothed me with gladness. This restoration isn't just about material or temporal things, it is a deep, spiritual renewal that touches every aspect of our being. This verse encapsulates the essence of God's restorative promise, that He will replace our sorrows and mourning with joy and celebration. As we surrender our pain, regrets, and wasted years to God, He begins to weave them into a tapestry of grace, creating a story far more beautiful and impactful than we could have authored on our own. Each thread represents experiences that serve to highlight pieces of His greater narrative and relational tapestry, where we can see how all things work together for good, even when we may not comprehend it fully at the moment. One of the most challenging aspects of waiting for restoration is embracing God's timing. In our fast-paced, instant gratification society, waiting can feel torturous. We want our breakthroughs now, our healing immediately, and our restoration to take place in front of our very eyes. However, as we mature in our faith, we begin to understand that God's timing is perfect, even when it doesn't align with our preferred schedule. What seems like a delay to us is precisely timed within His divine plan. Isaiah 55 verses 8-9 reminds us, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways and my thoughts than your thoughts." This passage encourages us to surrender our understanding and trust in God's superior wisdom and perspective. He sees the full picture of our lives, past, present, and future, and orchestrates events for our ultimate good and His glory. Embracing God's timing requires a perspective shift. Instead of viewing delays as setbacks, we can see them as essential periods of preparation. Just as a farmer must wait for the right season to plant and harvest, there are vital seasons in our spiritual lives. Sometimes, what appears to be a wasted period is, in reality, a crucial time of growth beneath the surface. Roots are deepening, character is being formed, and necessary pieces are being put into place for the full manifestation of God's restoration in our lives. Moreover, trusting in God's timing allows us to experience peace amid our waiting. When we truly believe that God is working all things together for our good, Romans 8 verse 28, we can release the anxiety and frustration that often accompany delays. This doesn't imply we become passive, rather, we actively cooperate in God's plan for our lives, doing what we can while trusting Him with what we cannot control. As we await our restoration, it's important to remember the power of community and collective prayer. Engaging with others who share the same hope can create an environment of encouragement and support, reminding us that we are not alone in our struggles. In community, we can share our joys and concerns, pray for one another, and collectively lift our voices in intercession for God's intervention in our lives. The act of sharing our prayer requests fosters a spirit of connection and fellowship. It's a means to express vulnerability while also building a support system that allows us to bear one another's burdens. It is a reminder that our faith is not solely an individual journey but a communal one, in which we can stand shoulder to shoulder with others, reinforcing our hope through shared experiences and prayers. Testimonies of restoration serve as powerful reminders of God's faithfulness. When we hear stories of how God has worked in the lives of others, it ignites hope within us and encourages us to persevere through our trials. These testimonies act as living proof that God indeed can and does restore what seems lost. They illustrate the profound truth that God can turn our darkest hours into moments of divine revelation and transformation. In many faith communities, sharing testimonies becomes a crucial aspect of worship and encouragement. As individuals recount their journeys from brokenness to healing, they not only glorify God but also provide a roadmap of faith for those who may be struggling to see the light at the end of their tunnel. Such stories remind us that our lives do not unfold in isolation, rather, they interconnect with the larger narrative of God's redemptive work in humanity. By sharing our stories, we validate each other's experiences and embolden each person's faith. We see our resilience reflected in the journeys of others and are reminded that our experiences, both painful and joyful, contribute to the larger picture of God's restorative narrative. As we draw this message toward an encouraging conclusion, let the truth of God's restorative power sink deep into your heart. Be encouraged today, for the God who created the universe, who set the stars in their courses and breathed life into existence, is intimately involved in restoring your life. This is not a distant, impersonal deity, it is a loving Father who sees your struggles, hears your prayers, and is faithful to his promises. Your story of restoration is not just a possibility, it is an unfolding reality, authored by the Master Restorer himself. Remember that restoration is not merely about reclaiming what was lost, it's about being transformed into something more beautiful and purposeful than before. Just as gold is refined by fire, emerging more precious and valuable, you too are being refined through your trials. The challenges you faced, the years you feel were wasted, the opportunities you think you've missed, each moment contributes to a tapestry of grace and redemption that serves as a testimony of God's love and faithfulness. As you move forward from this moment, hold fast to this promise: what was taken will be restored, what was broken will be mended, and what was lost will be found. Furthermore, expect God to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, Ephesians 3 verse 20. Your future is bright with the promise of God's unfailing love and faithfulness. The best chapters of your life are still to be written, and they will tell a story of restoration so profound that it will inspire hope in others and bring glory to God. This assurance should fuel your faith and ignite your hope. Don't let the enemy keep you focused on past failures or current challenges. Instead, lift your eyes to the hills, from where your help comes, Psalm 121 verses 1-2. Your restorer is at work, and his restoration is thorough, beautiful, and entirely worth the wait. Trust in his process, lean into his love, and expectantly watch for the ways he will turn your mourning into dancing. As we embark on this journey towards restoration together, I invite you to join our community of faith by sharing your prayer requests in the comments section below. Our Heavenly Father is attentive to every whisper, every need, and every heart's desire. The act of sharing your prayer request is not merely about articulating your struggles, it's about entering a sacred space of connection and supplication where we can uplift one another in prayer. This channel is not a coincidence. Your presence here is divinely orchestrated. God has a specific purpose for bringing you to this moment, and he is preparing to release unprecedented blessings of financial breakthrough, supernatural provision, and extraordinary favor into your life. Together, let us lift our voices in collective prayer, creating a powerful spiritual atmosphere of hope, restoration, and miracle-working faith. Whether you are seeking financial miracles, healing from past wounds, breakthroughs in relationships, or divine intervention in any area of your life, this space is dedicated to lifting each other up and claiming God's promises together. To maximize the impact of our prayers and to receive the breakthrough you are seeking, consider these simple actions. Like this video, show your support for the community and let others know that they are not alone in their journey. Subscribe to our channel. By doing so, you will join a growing family united in faith, praise, and expectation of God's restorative power. Share this message with your network. Spread the hope and promise of restoration to your friends, family, and community. Your sharing could be the catalyst for someone else's breakthrough. Consistently repeat these prayers throughout the week. Make prayer a habit, inviting God's presence and intervention into your daily life. Believe without wavering. Hold steadfast to your faith, trusting that God is actively working on your behalf. Remember always that the God who sustains the entire universe is more than capable of transforming your circumstances. Your breakthrough is not merely possible, it's promised. You are deeply loved, cherished, and valued in God's eyes, and He is committed to you with an everlasting love. In closing, as you continue on your journey toward restoration, let the truth of God's promises resonate in your heart. Let His words strengthen you in times of doubt, His love surround you in times of trouble, and His faithfulness uplift you in times of despair. Embrace each day as an opportunity for restoration, a chance to witness the miracle of God's work in your life. As you navigate the unfolding chapters of your story, remember that you are not alone. We walk together as a community of believers, trusting in the same God who restores and renews. May you be filled with a renewed sense of purpose and expectation. Insight and belief are the pillars upon which faith is built, so grasp these truths tightly as you navigate the terrain ahead. You are empowered to share this hope with others, becoming a beacon of God's restorative power. Let your journey inspire others in a world that desperately needs encouragement and messages of hope and redemption. Your life, marked by God's hand, is a testimony waiting to be shared, illuminating the transformative power of restoration. Your restoration story is ongoing, and each day brings you closer to the fulfillment of God's promises in your life. Embrace this journey with faith, hope, and love, knowing that the one who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. Philippians 1 verse 6. Your wasted years are not the end of your story, they are merely the backdrop for a magnificent tale of divine restoration that will echo into eternity. Go forth with confidence, dear one. Your restorer is faithful, your future is secure, and your best days are still ahead. May you walk in the light of this truth, spreading hope and inspiration to all those you encounter on your own incredible journey of restoration. Your story has the power to change lives, starting with your own as you learn to embrace all that God has for you. Live boldly, trust deeply, and expect profoundly. The restoration is already in motion, witness it unfold in your life.